Shabbat shalom and hello. Hello. I wanted to comment immediately, first and foremost, that I've noticed a bit of a influx, climb, if you will, of subscribers, and something tells me, as much as I want to believe, that I've been oh so killing it on the live streams recently. It's probably not the case. People are probably here to watch what they hope to be a train wreck. So I don't intend for it to go down that way. I'm going to play into the best of my ability. I'm using StreamYards. Hello, Queen Survivor. Paranormal Scars Don't Define You. Very appropriate name. Sean Doherty. PVG. I thank you all truly, and to all the support. Hey, Jamie. To all the support that I've gotten via email from everybody across the board. Cheers. And then I have somebody very. This individual, not only do I respect him as an artist, he is the one responsible for all the progressive patriot iconography. I've seen his sketch work. He is a man of many talents, but that's not why I respect him. I think he's immensely talented. I respect him because, dramatic pause, he has known me since I initially was invited to start this journey of being a podcaster, which is embracing being some kind of a public figure, which means your words do have a bit more weight, and you have to really make a decision when words or anything that has been said by me, by anybody with a platform, has to take accountability. I could have taken an approach of trying to ignore the video, but that's the opposite of the channel's ambition and mission. Okay, accountability, it's like a huge thing. I've written statements, I've been thinking about this, and at the end of it all, I'm going to leave it all up to you, like what should be done moving forward. So back to the special guest. This is my friend. All right, he has watched my journey when I started out on that Stuck in the Middle show, youtube.com/Stuck in the Middle with Josh. I started out very, very liberal. Badass Bandit. Oh, my dear, I really hope that this video that I'm going to feature, and it's me talking 6 years ago. I'm going to share this, and I hope it doesn't do the damage that I've worried about so much. Here's some fun facts, though. I did talk to my, I don't know if I should call them what they are. Let's say people I meet at work sometimes. And I even told them about the situation. People of every background and ethnicity, mostly, yes. I have a Haitian friend named Vlad. And I told him this situation, and he said the most hilarious thing. He said that this is a bit of an overreaction on my part, and this is very petty, and that it really, he had some very colorful ways to deal with it, and I got to show him just a lot of love. So with that being said, though, my boy Drew, the artist, the man, the myth, the legend, I'm going to get him up on panel. It is because I respect him so much. He always helped keep me accountable and try to keep me true to my roots, because being on that show that was so politically charged, I moved and I wavered from one side to the other, and I suppose I found myself in the middle, and I feel that Drew knows me somewhat well enough, though we've never hung out in real life. I feel that he knows me well enough, like the contents of my character, who I am, what I'm about, and that's why he's here now. So everybody, please welcome Drew. For Drew is now on screen. What's up, and welcome, Drew.
Hey, how's it going?
So let me ask you, first and foremost, is this the first time you've ever been invited to a podcast?
No, I do. Most of the podcasts I do, honestly, are like nerd podcasts. So, this is the first one that has been non-nerd related. So most of my content has to deal around superhero stuff, comic books, video games, different things like that.
Is there like an active channel that you have, and I've never known about this in all these years?
No, it's just different people. Like there's different groups and stuff that because I do a lot of cosplay photography, a lot of photography that has to deal with superheroes and video games. I go to cons, Dragon Con, MomoCon, stuff like that. If I'm ever down in Florida, I think there's a con down in Fort Lauderdale too. But no, for the most part, everything I do is just based around like comic book nerddom. So people hit me up and just ask me things about my photography and my take on different things that's going on in the nerd world.
In respect to cons, Did you see the biggest con, which is me? Because all this time I've been secretly racist. I gotta do the levity thing because this has been such a crazy ride for me. And by the way, nerd for life. Like I got probably $100,000 worth of comic books.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you do know.
I know.
And yeah, so I told you, you've seen this journey that has been just very strange.
Right.
And I feel just that you've watched me long enough. You've seen me deal with all types of people in our little Facebook chat for Stuck in the Middle.
Oh yeah.
You've seen us go at it. So I guess, man, let me see if I wanted to read like a statement. I'm taking this very, very seriously, but to me it's serious because I think the kind of stuff that these trolls that are hell bent on doing as much damage to me as possible, and you know what? They've found something that could do just that, and that's why I need to present it, own it, show it. So let me see if I do have something I want to read. So give me a moment before we play the nitty gritty here.
Gotcha.
Okay, this stream here, this is official, guys. I'm reading, makes it very official. And please, mods, look out for infiltrators. The subscribers, I really hope they came here for support, but I don't have a feeling that's the case. This stream and my words will not absolve me, nor will it make my actions any less of an embarrassment. I have no one and nothing to blame. This was said by me, sound and mind. The choice is yours. A very stupid comment from 6 years ago to me presently. I own the optics. I own how it's going to look. I said something insensitive, hurtful, and foolish. I can only apologize and turn to you all. I will no longer invoke after tonight the Creeksquad name until we see how this is handled. Until after this vid has been completed and available for a little bit. And a little fun fact, because I think this is the political angle. This 6 years ago is when I was an extreme radical lefty that was like in talks with Antifa until I decided they were too radical for me because they wanted me to go and like, I don't know, destroy stuff. But I thought this was interesting. So here's the irony, right? People say, I guess what? People on the right are pigeonholed into being racist, and that's never the case. That's across the board. That's in it. That's a human being. That's an individual, and there's whole, people groups involved with that. But I thought this was ironic. All right, this was the social justice Eli version, lefty warrior, and this is me referring to an African American GOP candidate. Given at this time in my life, I was rooting for then progressives like AOC, Nina Turner, and Ilhan Omar. And I go and say something I vowed to not say after I used this term with my best friend from middle school in 1997. I actually spoke to him today.
Mm-hmm.
And then the closing statements. Just going to play it. I don't know how to play this appropriately using StreamYard, so I'm going with Drew's advice. Trigger warning, okay? And I am really embarrassed because I'm fearful of the people that don't know this yet, and they're gonna see it. So this is me 6 years ago, the lefty me, and I'm raging out about then Ben Carson, who was a brain surgeon, and I was doing some sort of just diatribe of trying him and calling him names, and well, you're gonna see for yourself. Let me know that the audio is okay when I play it. Unfortunately, this is the best I got. I want you to see it and hear it. So let's see how it translates. I guess I'll put it close and let me know if you guys can hear it okay. Otherwise, I'll back it up.
We can find her on every single little fucking...
Can you hear that?
From Rubio to Kasich to Carson, who's dropped out, so he's irrelevant. But it looks like to me that he's popped way too many Xanax or something. I wouldn't trust that nigga with a scalpel near my fucking paper cut, let alone doing brain surgery. So I suppose, in a nutshell, all right, the GOP clown car, the GOP is tanking, and as I said, it is the Titanic. It is sinking, and you are supporting the bottom of it that's already broke off. You're not even supporting the tip that was up in the air before it actually sunk. You're supporting something that's already gone.
So there you have it. I referred very stupidly. I honestly, for years, like I told Josh, it stuck in the middle because he thought I'd say this all the time. He laughed because I said, no, dude, I've only said it like once in my life. And I really thought that was the truth. The story of my best friend, Matt from 97, he was my best friend. He was black. And I approached him and felt too comfortable. 1997, 7th grade. And we did the dabs. And I said, yo, what's up, my NIGGA? And I saw in his face, he didn't appreciate it. He wasn't comfortable with it. And in that moment was when I vowed never to use that term, that word again. So with that being said, though, Drew, you're here. You got to see it. What is your thoughts? Put it all out there for me.
Yeah, I definitely I laughed. I did laugh. The reason why is because I was expecting something a lot worse. I was like, here it goes. And then I was like, oh. First off, here's the thing. That was 6 years ago.
6 years, yes, sir.
6 years ago. Okay, so I know we've had talks about this. Not really talks about it, but in the group, I would mention, like, you know, your views on faith and my views on faith, and I'm just like, I can laugh at so many different things. I am a man of faith, right? So that means I know how to extend grace in certain situations and understand what a person's heart is at the moment. So from what I've seen of you, there's nothing in me that goes, Eli is definitely a racist and he just hates black people with a passion. The way you even said it, you sounded almost uncomfortable saying it in that moment. It came out, but it was almost like he didn't really say that right. You know what I mean? So in context, hey, the reality of it is, yes, you should not have said that.
Especially on YouTube. I can't believe that's how I had to find out.
Right. I don't think anybody should say it. I hate when I hear black people say it. A lot of my friends know they usually don't say that kind of stuff around me because they know I'm like, hey, I don't really like that word in general. I think if they can't use it, you shouldn't use it. Nobody should use it. The word shouldn't be used if it's a bad word. You know what I mean? So I don't want anybody to use it. So the obvious, the given is, yes, you shouldn't have used it. Now, the way I look at it is in context. You were very upset at Ben Carson. I don't think you were saying black people in general. I think you were like Ben Carson. And I look at it. Does it make it?
I had a huge beef with the GOP. I was very progressive, Bernie or bust. And Ben Carson represented the enemy, the Republican enemy. It's funny how I've evolved on left and right. But yes, it was directly at Ben Carson. And I don't know why I had a Freudian slip kind of like, why did I have to add that into the commentary? I don't even understand.
It sounded like you were going for a certain kind of lingo or certain kind of like.
I think I was trying to talk street or something.
That's what it felt like. It felt like you were trying to be. That's why I laughed at it, because I was like, this doesn't even sound. Now there are some individuals out there that will use that word and they use it the way they mean it. You know what I mean? There is no mistaking, and they throw a good old hard R on there. You know what I mean? So I don't really think in this situation, from what I heard personally. Okay, now if I heard you using that constantly, I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, right? So back when I used to always go to Miami. I used to always break dance in Miami, and all the Latins would say it. Anybody who hung out with black folks in the breakdancing community would use that word, but they would use it even toward each other. And I was like, that's a little weird. I don't, hey, look, I don't want you to use it, but you're your own person. I won't use it, and I would appreciate if you didn't use it around me, but I'm not about to sock you in the eye, because the way you're using it is the same way my people would be. It's a conversational thing. They're not saying you are they were like, what up, my this is, oh yeah, but they would talk to each other like Latin to Latin. It's just like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? So within context, and with how you were presenting it, I don't really see you as a said racist. And that didn't even cross my mind when I heard that.
I really laugh at the sentiment that sentence. I mean, the word is insensitive, stupid, and it's never excusable in my opinion. But the whole notion that makes me a racist, I think it takes a hell of a lot more than saying something silly that could be perceived as racist or racially insensitive. But hell no, is that gonna define me? Hell the fuck no. I try not to curse on here, but screw it.
Yeah, there's certain individuals, if I heard them use it, I'd be like, yeah, that's definitely, you've been waiting on that. But you don't strike me as one of those individuals after watching your super far, Bernie. And you used to be like, when I used to watch the group was very much far right. And then there was you, you know what I mean? There's always Eli versus everybody else. And then you started to slowly tick, 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 as you got facts and as you got information and as you started to see reality for different purposes, you started to, get more center, which is how it should be. At the end of the day, when you have more information, you have more facts, and you see things for yourself, and you're not pushed by any kind of like base or mainstream or whatever mainstream media source you choose to go with. You start seeing for yourself. You go, man, I was really losing it back then. I'm more here now, and people even talk to me. You know what I mean? And in the group, I'm a certain way in the group. For me, it's entertainment when I'm in the group. It's pure entertainment.
It's very much reflected in how you engaged. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much entertainment. If I ever there was one guy in the group who me and him used to go at it. But there was one point which I don't even think anybody realized, where me and him were like, dude, if I saw you in person, I bet you we'd have a beer together. He was like, we would crack a cold one and probably laugh about everything. And I was like, yeah, we would. Nobody ever saw that for some reason, but they would see us bickering and fighting because I was always,
that is always what gained the traction in that group. Ironically enough, or unfortunately enough, like Josh and I's ambition was to try to bring people together, but all it was a tug of war between people of different parties, and that's what it was.
But again, within that, looking at you, I never saw anything that would strike me as, oh, he would be a racist. If anything, you were the anti. You were the one that was always against fascism. You were against the people who were against, people of color, or anybody who was, everybody who was a person of color is for the left, right? And it's just like, you would always defend those guys. You know what I mean? And rest in peace.
Keon.
What was it? Huh?
Keon.
Oh man, yeah. What he said? He said money is no. He said theft. Money is theft. What he said?
Oh yeah, that's right. Capitalism is theft.
Yeah, he always had that saying. I mean, like there were some characters in there back then, and you would definitely, as extreme as they would be, you would find a way to defend and to stand up for these people. And then obviously, it's
I was sorry to interrupt. I was one of the last people to speak to him before they found his body.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had an hour conversation. He had watched Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. He called me crying, and he had a really, really rough life. Keon did, and he essentially succumbed to the situation. He was impoverished. He was off his medicine, and we don't know to this day how he ended up drowning in a canal. And it will always break my heart remembering that I didn't do. I don't know what I could have done. Anyway.
Yeah, but why would you have done anything? You're a racist, and he was black.
No, right. Of course, there's that. Oh, it's something that I find amusing. Speaking of everything amusing about this, is it when I grew up in New York, I grew up in a freaking black neighborhood. I went to a mostly predominantly black school. And the N-word was used there between the black community, that I never felt comfortable saying it there. But when I came to Florida, the trailer park gangsters and all that, oh my God, every variant, black or otherwise, was also using it. Still, I didn't feel ever felt comfortable using it loosely. So I'm amazed, because for years I've been telling everybody, publicly, privately, Josh, my old co-host, everybody. Yep, I've only said it twice in my life, and apparently, if I say it twice, I only remember the 1997 with Matt, and then apparently I said it 6 years ago on this channel. Oh, no, I'm not going to pay attention to the. Okay, but anyway, yeah, there's that. Good. Here, I got something. Tell me if this has been an over dramatic response. And thank you, Badass Bandit. I saw your comment, and thank you. That's really, you don't know how relieved I am. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need a reality check here, but here's what I wrote, guys. I honestly don't know what is to come after tonight. I won't ignore it because it would show part of this channel's mission. It would show fear, and accountability is a heavy part of this channel's mission. Sorry. Once this live is complete, my fate is not my own. I ask each of you to think and wow, I really thought deeply about this, and ultimately decide if I deserve your support or not. Regardless of whatever I say to excuse or apologize, I want you, each individually or together, to make the decision you feel is right for your soul. This is about something greater than me. Whatever is chosen, I entirely accept. I give the keys of this channel's fate over to a greater power than myself. You, the people, who are always meant to be in power and call the shots. And then I wrote here as an afterthought, have I done right by even broadcasting this? Or did I feed the trolls? I mean, I think you got to dispatch somebody's weapon and use it for your own. And I figure it wiser to address this instead of pretending it didn't happen.
Yeah. No, I think you putting it out there is a big thing where it's kind of like if you put it there, nobody can. You're like, hey, it's there. I've just presented it to you, so it's no like gotcha. It's like, no, you didn't get me. I gave it to you. You know what I mean? However you feel about it is up on you. Like if you're still hurt about it, as this person just apologized, you know, if you've been following him that he's not like that, then I don't really see that's something that somebody wants to hate on you at that point. If that's the case, there's no real reason after you. I mean, okay, look at what's this guy? The Canada guy, Trudeau. What's
Justin
his name?
Trudeau. Sure, yeah.
Who's super nice. Everybody loved this guy. And then all of a sudden they were like, wait, were you in blackface at one point? And he was like, yes, that was a long time ago and I was very stupid. And, you know, I didn't mean anything by it, but I know it was wrong. I'm not a racist, but, you know, I did do that. I shouldn't have done it. And they were like, yeah, now we hate you. And you're like, yeah, but you saw me for years do nothing but good. And then you saw the one mistake I made back then. Why are you judging me off of that? And you know my track record. Does that make sense? It's like I look at people, you can look at people in politics and say the same thing. What did you do back in the day that you don't do now? How much have you actually helped going forward? Or are we only going to base people off the past? Especially if they're remorseful and if they're sorry and if they apologize sincerely. You know what I mean? If so much so to come on their own platform, show you what they did, and then ask you for your forgiveness and say, if you don't forgive me, I understand. That to me is, you can't get any more humble than that. So from me,
I hope that's what translates. I see, you know, the very people that have been behind looking for anything and everything, and this is not going to be the end of it. Stuck in the Middle lasted 3 years. There's a lot of embarrassing moments when we were intoxicated and talking reckless. Nothing like that, though. You'll never find that again, on my word. But yeah, I'm sure this is going to be a thing. And I see the very haters in here that advocated and started this little thing. And I'm not going to say your names, but I see you all. I see you here. Just because you hate me as much as you do for the reasons that you have doesn't make it true. It doesn't make that this narrative that you want so badly to be the thing that tears me down from building something up. It will never make it true. I've seen that some of the idiots, you're a bigot and you're all blind. Okay, so I guess you're the only one with a real pair of eyes, and every other individual thinking for themselves here has it wrong, and I have them all duped. Yes, you are all by far the most intellectual individuals that YouTube has to offer. So you're insulting the intelligence of everybody here, and you are you're accusing me of being a racist, and all I can do is bare my fucking soul and leave nothing more than that. Do you think this is a grand act? Give me my damn Oscar. Is my Oscar here? No, it's up there. It's the Captain Morgan statue. So I feel sorry. It hurts me a little bit that people really, like, I really don't know if they really think it or they just want it to be true so I can get canceled, removed, and lose support. I don't know, but I feel sorry for all of you. That's all I can say to that pocket of nothing but toxicity. They have apparently, sadly, nothing better to do than to meet up in their little group. I don't know what it is, and try to damage me. But that's your energy. That's your life. Live your best life. I really wished things could have been different and that you guys could find something positive to do with your energy. But this is what you're going to regulate your lives to, so be it.
Are these? Wait, so well, a couple questions because I can't see the chat. Is this something that's happening in the chat?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
there's some of the trolls, the names that I've recognized for years. I'm not even going to mention certain details. Just it's the same faces. They didn't like me from the Stuck in the Middle days. Some of them started to hate me after Stuck in the Middle.
But
And
why? What would give somebody outside of this one little incident that you kind of brought forward? What would give somebody reason to dislike you?
I think one of them hated the way that I went about gaining traction on this platform. I think they believed I have manipulated and fooled everybody, and that I used people or Creeksquad. I admit Creeksquad are the ones that embraced me and gave me the support I have. Ryan Upchurch shared 2 of my videos, and Creeksquad has embraced me. And Creeksquad represents a vast demographic around the globe, and I thank them every opportunity. I have since been able to speak to Ryan Upchurch's mother. We've even worked together on videos. I even feel like nervous bringing their names up because I don't want them affiliated with, because I don't know what the outcome of this is. Years, I thought you had only been streaming 4 months. No. I had a show for 3 years, FYJB. And I've been doing this channel for 4 months. Yes. But otherwise, and another one, I can just tell you this. He's made 20 profiles. I've had to block maybe 22 profiles. And I've had confirmation he's also impersonating my profiles and Stuck in the Middle and an ex-girlfriend and follows me around. So this has been a new element. Yeah, this is news to you. I know.
Yeah, this is. I'm just trying to understand again, because I'm on here just as a person. You showed me the video and you wanted my honest reaction, which for me it was laughter. I was like, it didn't really feel that jarring as I was expecting it. And then I've been following you and Stuck in the Middle, and to me you seem like a pretty decent guy. So I'm trying to understand why somebody would be after you, or a group of people would be after you so much. Like there has to be something underlying that is just not. That's not.
I know what made it worse is when I started to defend myself. When they would come over here, somebody would say something or start something, and I'd pin the comment so others could see it. And one of them took it as a like the gloves were thrown and war has begun. And I just, no matter how many times I express, I really just want peace, and I want the opportunity to make something special out of this platform. The Valdez family, if they still will have me, have agreed to allow me to interview them, I think Thursday night, to bring justice to a case that's gone cold, to find a man that's been missing since 2021. I have great ambitions and intentions to give power to the people that are often ignored by a system that only focuses on national news. So you know what? I'm beyond trying to understand it. I've come up with a new saying, which is all haters and trolls, you can't avoid them. They live on an island. They will feed on themselves. The more I pay attention to them, I'm throwing them a life raft. So I'm shooting myself in the foot, even as I acknowledge their existence. But it's just how I'm trying to understand things as they go.
Dang, man. Well, that sucks. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why somebody would go through such great lengths, but I guess it comes with the territory. I don't do things like this, so I don't know how much you have to deal with. I just tell my opinion and I keep it moving. But to have to host the actual site, I don't know how much headache comes with that. So I guess it's comes with the territory.
Well, yeah, if I try to simplify it, I think it's a natural primitive response that when somebody's trying to build something up, others want to tear it down. I wish I could figure out a way to make peace with every single individual, but that's beyond my control. And I don't think the majority of them want peace. They've made up their minds. And that's just, I have to accept that. If I saw somebody's name that I also, man, the hits keep on coming. So this is, I didn't inform you about it, but if Power Stroke is here, can I get a confirmation, guys? I won't. Hey, What's up,
Somebody's
man?
name is Power Stroke.
Power Stroke, no joke. He's a great man. And what I did last night, I have to keep on publicly acknowledging, but my fear is I can't fear like the trolls and, like one of them makes a big joke that I'm trying to get clean. Like I don't want to drink anymore, but I still drink. I don't want to take Suboxone, but I still take Suboxone. And I made a video where I poured a bourbon down, and that was all for nothing because I started drinking again 4 days after. But last night I went on Power Stroke No Jokes, fantastic channel. He and his father are amazing, salt of the earth people, like just somebody that's extremely relatable. And I went there in less than my best shape and form. I went there and I made a fool of myself. I embarrassed myself. I was rude. I was intoxicated, and I should not have gone on a 3 a.m. panel in that condition. But I was like, oh my God, Power Stroke and Dusty, his dad. I really do respect and adore them, and I was just too eager to get in there without thinking, hey, maybe I shouldn't because I'm kind of not sober. So I've apologized on his Insta privately. I'm sorry to make it public, but I mean, it's going to be there forever and a day. It's immortalized, but thank you, Power Stroke, for the opportunity and for understanding, and thank you. And I apologize for having to bear with me in that condition. I mark my words on this one, at least, if ever I find myself doing something like that again, like being intoxicated and going online, I will turn this channel off. I just need to not mix the two, and I am working on relegating and moderating my drinking. I went from the cold turkey to trying to get it down. Then the smoking thing, sometimes it hits me different, and I'll get like anxious, paranoid, and there's a moment where it was almost like cognitive dissonance, man. I forgot we were like on a live panel, hundreds of people watching, and I was just in a conversation, totally disrespectful and unaware of truly what was going on. So this is the apology tour, man. I'm getting it all out there tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna go there, because I mean, you definitely apologize a lot, and I would want to ask, what are you doing all this for? Not the apology, but what are you doing this podcasting, the video? What is it for? Like, if you always have to come back and apologize for something, because I feel like you're a good person, you want people to like you. What is your ultimate goal with this stuff you're doing?
Hold on, I gotta block the 25th profile of an individual. Okay. So the goal, when I recognized that this platform was possible, was I've come up with a few monikers, and you might recognize this one that I came up with. It's stuck in the middle. Identify the unifiers, and then when there is a divider, let that be an invitation to conversation and not confrontation, because only then can we hope to speak truth to power. So that's a motivation right there. And then justice for just us, which I'm getting tattooed here because the system has entirely failed us. Working class people, real Americans, everyday people. I think it only serves, well-connected, elite, whatever, wealthier people. And I want to also lend this platform to every person that needs it, that has a cold case, missing person, unsolved, unaliving. That's a code we have to use for the term. And there's a few families that have reached out, and I want to use the traction and the attention that this channel is able to garnish and use the new resources I've gotten. I told you about a few of those resources, and see if we can show the powers that be and the status quo that as people united, we can actually do something. We can do something positive and wonderful and beautiful. We don't need a system to always support us. We don't have to be codependent on a system that has already made it clear they don't care about us. We can take the power back. And that is what I believe in for this channel. That's what and then my apologizing is I have to hold myself accountable to the highest possible standard, because I'm trying to represent these people in this community, and they deserve the best that they can get.
Okay, so your apology is not, it's not just to get, it's not for people to always like you, it's for people to know that you're sincere, and people
I don't
like
care if I'm liked or disliked. I hope it's just for who I am and not what I'm not. That's what I care about.
That's fair.
I didn't see your comment, Power Stroke. I'm sorry, bro. Let me go check. and I hope you did express my sentiment to your amazing father. Let me do a little comment stalking, and thank you, mods, for keeping your A game strong. Jessa, I would like to have some form of communication with you. Nothing too official, but okay. Okay, word. That I take that to heart. I just wanted to, what I explained to you, at least from my end. I just want to put that out there, and I think it was very obvious when I was there. That's all. So yeah, all right. Well, Drew, thank you. Is there anything you feel compelled to add?
No, like I said, I don't, I don't do, I haven't been keeping up with all the people that have been, against you and stuff. And I'm mostly in the stuck page, and it's really just me and Maverick in there now.
I know, dude. It is. It's just that tit for tat. And Maverick is something special.
I love Maverick.
He's definitely dedicated to his.
Yeah. I love Maverick. I want to meet Maverick. When I don't know if he's in Florida or Fort Lauderdale or wherever, but when I come back down there, he's somebody I definitely want to crack a beer with and just meet. I mean, I know he puts up all that stuff on the page, and some of it, makes me scratch my head, but I want to sit and have a conversation with him and just talk, because I'm like, Maverick, I really want to know in person, not what you're texting. I want to know what you really think. So again, I do a lot of this stuff for entertainment. I have my thoughts on things. I am how I am. Nobody's gonna really ever know how I am unless you talk to me in person, because online, to me, online is just a character. Online is just 100% a character. So,
and I even gave you like a little crap because I was like, dude, I want to see the sincere you, but I think you dealing with that. Do you mind? Like someone shared something about somebody in your family, and I don't know if you want me to repeat it. Like somebody has a platform that's pretty big in your family, or was I given misinformation?
Well, tell me what it is. Let's see.
Somebody in your family has like an 80,000 subscribed channel.
A channel?
Yeah, I was okay. Somebody that's very close to Stuck in the Middle told me that your brother has like a huge conservative platform.
Oh yeah, see. I don't know, because I don't really follow him, but I know that he remember, he is super conservative, super.
That's what I was told. Yeah.
I mean, I mean, I don't even know. He's super conservative, but me and him talk all the time, and we'll go back and forth. See, but I can be real with him. That's the thing. Like he won't see the stuck in the middle of me. He'll never see that. What he'll see is I'll hear what he says, and then I'll give him pushback, because certain things I'm like, dude, that makes sense, and this makes sense. I said, but when you said this, it kind of killed all this stuff, because now you sound crazy. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. So, but who is somebody in the chat right now?
No. This was somebody that you're very familiar with from Stuck in the Middle days that told me that he speculated maybe that's why you went at some of the more charged issues in the manner that you did. You might even be able to guess who would make such a theory if you really thought about it. But yeah,
I mean, my brother, I tried to get him on the Stuck in the Middle on the radio show. I was like, dude, you need to go in there. And as a matter of fact, I tell him all the time, I'm trying to get back down to where he is so I can do actual video of him. And you see my artwork. So I have like legit Trump artwork and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, here you go. Here you go. This is for you. Because my thing is like, dude, if you really honestly truly believe in this stuff, then go for it. But my thing is like, go for it the correct way. Monetize it. Make money off it. If he has 8,000 followers, I'm like, dude.
People are begging for your channel. So let me say, he doesn't have a channel, although I've begged him a few times to make something, because every Progressive Patriot artwork, anything, is that man's doing. And I'm just, what's up, Ismic? I'm going to be calling you because I want to make sure you're okay. Anyway, yeah. So you don't have a channel, right? There's nowhere I could.
Not yet. But I don't know if Trump, did Trump make his announcement tonight? He was supposed to be making some kind of announcement. I don't know. I haven't.
You know, all I got to do is call CanCon. You remember CanCon, right? A cannabis conservative. Every time we went on Stuck in the Middle, we had like 700 viewers.
Wait.
Also known as Brian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Him and I were doing like a weekly show, but I think we both have busy schedules. We may have gotten a little burnout, but one of the most I wonder if you were there for this. One of the most intriguing occurrences that happened on that show, Stuck in the Middle, is when Brian CanCon showed up, and our mutual. Do you remember Andy? Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so we had an extreme lefty and an extreme righty constitutionalist, and everybody, like, Andy was talking a big game, like, I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna smash everybody, I'm gonna own the whole room. And then when we all got to talking, we discovered exactly that. Like, we found conversation, not confrontation, and Brian and Andy became friends after that. And that's that's a huge message I keep wanting to deliver to the people. We're not as divided as the powers that be think we are, or want us to believe we are. Divide and conquer. Sun Tzu, two-party system for a country as wide and large as ours, with as many people in our population.
Yeah.
I just feel like we're all getting played, man. And if I could do anything to shine a light on that, I'm going to.
Well, yeah, and I can tell you right now, I have, of course, offline in real life, I have conversations with people all the time, and me and my buddies will talk about Trump, and people would be surprised to hear how we talk about Trump, because of course, oh, you're a black guy, you hate Trump, and I'm just like, you have no idea. I said, you can see me online. I said, I'll play whatever character you want to play online, but in real life, with real conversations, it's a lot different than you think, and it's this whole conservative liberal talk, everything like that. It's like, if you have conversations with certain people, it's a lot different than you think. So that's why even with my brother, I support whatever he does. I just want him to do it to the best of his ability. Again, like I don't follow him, so I don't know. But my sister tells me, like, yeah, he had like X amount of people on his live, and I'm just like, dude, what did your background look like? How did your lighting look? What did your? I just want to make sure he does it to the best of his ability.
I'm a bit shocked you're not more involved with helping some of the visual aspects of his channel.
I'm too far. I'm too far away. We're too far away, and that's what I'm saying. We're states away. So my thing is, like, I would love to be able to do that. Like when I get back down there, I do want to do some stuff where if I shoot it, it's gonna look like a motion picture. But I want him to really, like, if that's what you believe, and he's more of a he said he's a what are the people that they say they always seek the truth? He's like, I'm not.
I think that's naturally called a truth seeker, or
he uses a special word. I forgot what it is, but it's like,
is
the whole
QAnon.
They're part of it. So the QAnon, Trump is like the one that is playing 4D chess and all this stuff. But they're citizen journalism, and that's another way for him and patriots get together. Which for me, patriots that has changed a different. The name has changed because of the toxic nature of what politics has become to now. Because I used to be very patriotic. I used to have American flag. People used to say, like, "Are you Captain America?" Dang. But it's like the whole idea. If you fly that American flag, it usually means, oh, it's like America, make America great again, flag. I'm like, oh, see, I don't want you to pigeonhole me into anything. I'm like, I'm still, I still love country, but don't pigeonhole me into anything. You know what I mean? Like, if something means too much, I go the opposite direction. Like when I first got into the Stuck in the Middle page, I was very much like, hey, let's ask some questions. Let's talk. I love to be in the middle. But then when I saw everything was super far right, I was like, guess I'm far right. But I'm going to be the furthest of far right. You know what I mean? So, but it was fun for me.
Now I'm genuinely curious. Like this day and age, you've seen my evolution, which I think maybe you'd agree. I did end up getting a little bit more right wing, but I still have my basic progressive values, like core values. However, I think things have gotten so bad that I can't. Some of those core progressive values, I think, fall a little bit back to the wayside because things are getting so freaking critical here. But regardless of that, where do you identify yourself? Which I hate that we have to put labels on things, but where do you think you fall? Are you more in the middle, left, right?
I'm definitely. I always say I'm purple. It's because I have all those. I have a lot of conservative views, but then when I get around a lot of certain conservatives, I'm like, yeah, I don't belong there. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I fit in. So I'm like, yeah, even though I might agree with certain parts, and then there's certain things with liberals, I'm like, I laugh at, liberals and Democrats, because I'm like, yeah, you care about us every 4 years. You know what I mean? And then, it's one of those things. So it's just like, dude, you guys aren't perfect. Nobody is. So I'm like, I'm more of an idea person. I'm like, what is it about the thing? Like, okay, somebody who did prison reform, who's the politician who did prison reform?
That's a big one. There's two individuals, and I don't have the answer for that one unless you do, but two individuals, one that did 10 years and one that was falsely imprisoned for 3 years, serving a 20-year sentence, and is now suing the county I live in. They want to come up on this platform. But do you have a name?
Oh, no, I was more so saying, who was the guy that was trying to get prison reform and worked with the Kardashians and was like, we're trying to get more black folks out of prison?
Word? I don't know.
Trump.
Oh, really? What? Wait, what?
Trump.
Damn, dude.
Trump was doing a lot of things for black folks, a lot of things, but it gets buried under all the other stuff. So my thing is like
the sensationalism, and I mean, he wasn't the veritable wordsmith, but dissecting everything. His Twitter was like a news cycle 24/7.
Yeah. Now, okay, him at rallies, I do believe he had to sell to his base. So he said certain things, which like at one point he was like, oh yeah, he's like, yeah, they say I'm this, I'm that. Look at my black over there. See, I have a black. And you're like, oh gosh, you just said that.
Right.
So my thing is, he's gonna beat Trump at the end of the day. But
sorry, Jamie, he doesn't have a channel. No, everybody, he doesn't have I wish to God he did, and he will. I'll make him have one. But right now, there's no channel. All right, continue.
Oh, so my thing is like, there's certain parts where you like, I can pull, if you put everybody on a blank slate, right? Just a silhouette, and you put their ideas up, I believe as a country, we would mix a lot of who we'd want to vote for. But since a lot of times we're party loyalists, it's like, I'm voting Joe Biden. You're like, you like Joe Biden? You're like, no, but I'm against Trump. And you're like, oh, so we don't know what we're doing as a country right now. We're just trying to chop everywhere.
Now we are divided into mostly people that are emotionally charged because their fervent hatred is stronger than that of the platform that the other individual is truly running for. So some people have stopped looking for the details of what these individuals are trying to accomplish. And as our representation and us as a constituency, that should be not the case. We should be doing our homework, and starting local is so important. And that's something I learned just through, I guess, the hard way. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
In terms of like voting for the president, I don't even know what I'm going to do. And I got to tell you, I didn't expect you to shine any real. You were never anti-Trump, ever. You just always asked for accountability on every side each time. But I didn't expect you to say anything positive about Trump.
There's a lot.
For my part, I went radical from Bernie to like slowly supporting Trump a little bit, but I never voted for the guy.
But you have to support. My thing is that what are the ideas that he pushed forward that were beneficial to you? Again, we are all, as people, we go to what's going to benefit us. And you're like, well, if this, like, for example, there's people who are like, I love Bernie Sanders. However, if he gets in office, I'm going to get killed in taxes because of where I how much money I make. And then you're like, well, I love this. I like the fact that when Trump came in there, he was like the whole if you didn't have health insurance, you got penalized. And he was like, get rid of that. And I was like, well, thank you for that. You know what I mean? So my thing is that there's certain things that would help, but you always have to, everybody's so busy. They're caught up in that red or blue. And they're like, well, who's my party? Who's my person? I'm going right now in the state of Georgia, it's Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock. Right. And I was like, are you really voting for Herschel Walker, or are you voting for a conservative? Because I listen to Herschel Walker, and if you ever have to listen to somebody and then really listen to them, and then lean in some more, that's probably somebody that's not really saying much of anything. So my thing is like, I don't know what you talk about. Like, I can't get what I don't know what you're saying. I'm not against the conservatives or Democrats. I don't know what you're saying, sir. So how can I vote for you? You know what I mean? So, but people literally right now, I've listened to people say, well, we've lost a seat in the Senate. So
they're co-signing to the party, and they're losing sight of what an individual that's running can accomplish, will accomplish. They're just thinking party lines, and that is our biggest weakness as a country.
As a country, that's my point. As a country, because I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I was just like, hey, at the end of the day, I'm a religious guy, so I think one direction first, and then everything else comes after that. If you can just be a genuine good person, I will see that before I see your party. You know what I mean? I want to see who you are, because I know of people that they were good friends, talk, oh, I love it, I love that, and then as soon as they say I'm voting for Trump, I hate you. And you're like, wait. Do you? I'm voting for Sleepy Joe. Ah, you're a sheeple. And you're like, wait, the last 3 months we were super cool, and we just now, because that's who I said I'm voting for. That shows the divide that we have and why. I listen to conservative talk radio, the Kimmer. I don't know if you guys listen to the Kimmer down there, but I listen to conservative talk radio every morning, and sometimes I'm just like, the stuff that's said, I'm like, oh my gosh. I want to listen to it because I want to hear everybody's side, but I'm just like, you guys are so out of touch with anybody else that's not you, or who thinks like exactly like you do.
I have to offer my thanks for the thanks. I got what's called a super chat, and you don't understand why I use that voice, and I'll explain at a later time. But thank you, Queen Survivor. Hey, fam, show some love, like, share, subscribe, join the positivity train. Queen Survivor is a gangsta, and she has been here for this channel since it's begun, and she's been a blessing. So thank you for that. And to your point, which was exactly what we were focusing on, the divide and how that is our greatest weakness. I'm sorry that I interrupted you.
No, you're fine.
When that happens, I got to do the 10% thing. And by the way, people really, really want you to make a channel.
A channel?
Yes, they want to make you be a podcaster. You're wearing the headphones. You're not leaning over to the right like some loser that has to talk next to his mic because he didn't think for. Thank you, H Bombs Shit Show, for your super chat. I mean, thank you for the thank you. Appreciate the support, truly. But yeah, dude, what do we got to do to get you moving and grooving here, cuz?
Well, what I'm gonna do now, since my brother has such a good following, is I'm gonna try to get on with him. I'm gonna be like, dude, what's up? Like, I didn't know you were like that. I know he had people that liked him and stuff like that, but I didn't know he was that popular. So,
well, was it me that informed you he had like 80,000 subs? Because that's what
I didn't know he had subscribers. I thought he had a regular Facebook page.
What in the heck?
Man, when I'm out of touch. I get on and I get on for entertainment purposes, and I look at whoever's saying whatever, and then I'm doing my thing, and then I see people like you who do something, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna do something for you. Like I think what you're doing is cool. Let me go ahead and design something for you. You know what I mean? And I want to do that for my brother too, but I don't know what he does. I'm like, dude, how can I help you? And right now, I think it's the video aspect of getting him some quality video of whatever he's talking about. He talks, I don't know what he talks about. He talks about something that's Trump related and truth related, I guess. So I just like, let's just do it big and just do it good. I mean, I don't have to always agree with you, but I should at least listen to you.
That dude, like sometimes the simplest things are way more powerful than the most complex poetry or thoughts. Like truly, just agreeing to disagree could be a freaking superpower if we would all realize that just because, you know, I voted for this guy or I like that person or this show, that whatever the case is, we're just so much more empowered, unified. And I do believe we serve under a system that benefits off of us being at each other's throats and social media. I don't know if it was some Operation Mockingbird thing where it was built to divide us, but look at all the different platforms. We have our Truth Social, Telegram, Facebook, Twitter, blah, 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 and the list goes on. And that's just, I think, people trying to revert back to echo chambers. They don't want to learn things anymore. They don't want to be challenged. They just want to hear what they want to hear already, and nobody learns or benefits from that.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like to your point, I looked at Twitter, and as soon as Elon Musk bought Twitter, why did even if it's bots, because people said it's bots, but even if it is, why did the racial aspect of it skyrocket? Like,
okay,
why was that a thing?
I have something to offer for that. All right, so again, shout out to CanCon, the Cannabis Conservative. He did the digging for the Gateway Pundit and wrote an article about it. So here's the data, and feel free to look into it. But apparently that was reported on the mainstream, and the think tank or whoever did this reporting, they didn't. first off, apparently, and it's still crazy given the topic that we opened up with, people were just some people were just using it to test it. I don't know if that makes it any better, honestly, and I don't know the context. So they were doing that, and then they were only polling like what 12 actual verified checkmark people, and they used that statistic to say it's gone up 500%. So I need to clearly find CanCon's article about this, provide it to you so you could see his very well articulated, drawn out explanation. But apparently it's not exactly as it was explained to us, because I had the same reaction as you.
Well, yeah, and I just ask. I mean, again, it could be trolls, it could be bots and stuff. But my thing is like, why did it immediately go there? How did it, whatever it was, the powers that be, no, let's go racial and say this because we know that will mess up everything. We know that they will get at their throats. Well, that's because they know how America is. We're a very racially divided country, and it's like, well, how can you attack them and distract them? Well, you just use race. Like, for example, I posted on the Stuck page the 3 football players that just got shot and killed, unfortunately. And you're like, oh, man. And you're like, well, who shot them? It was like another black person. Oh, okay. Well, moving on. Next story. You're like, whoa, it's a mass shooting. If it was a white person, it would have been all in the news. It would have been crazy. It would have been like, oh, racial. But because it was another black person, they were like, that's not really going to sell. You know what I mean?
It doesn't. That's the media's fault, because they run with things that are as hyperbolic and divisive as possible, because division is just like their blood money. It gets our attention. It gets us all invested for the wrong reasons.
And that's the unfortunate thing with, and people who like literally who are like dialed in. There's people who are dialed into CNN, like like the older folks that are just, CNN is just there. And then there's people dialed into Fox News. There's people who are, and you're like, wow. And everything that they feed you, you just regurgitate out into the world. And I'm like, man, that'll have somebody like you afraid of somebody like me for no reason. And because you had no like straight up conversation, you know what I mean? I've had people, and again, it's grace. Remember, like just the grace, what I said before, having grace. What you said, I was sorry. I had a coworker back in the day. She was like, Drew, she was like, you're the second most attractive colored man I've ever met. And I was like, you see that face? So I said, everybody, when I tell them that story, they go, oh, and I was just like, no, I get it. She didn't mean it that way. This lady was older in her time period. That's a nice way of saying it. You know what I mean? I don't think she meant it in a negative fashion. Therefore, I'm not going to be upset right now. I could be like, what you mean? No, why am I the second? Why am I not the first? You know what I mean? You have to ask these questions, because I'm like, I don't think in your heart you meant it that way. In church, they always say like, charge it to my head, not to my heart, because they're like, hey, look, you didn't mean it in a negative way, but it came out like that. You know what I mean? So
you took the time to search for the intent instead of jumping to the most easiest conclusion, which is to be angry.
Correct.
It's far easier to throw the first punch, is what I normally say, than it is to try to open up your mind and hear somebody out.
Yeah. And that's what I think with, as Americans right now, like you said, we are, I mean, it's a 24-hour news cycle. They have to have something all the time. And what, like, I've seen somebody post online, they were like, what happened to monkeypox? Because it kind of came and went. And you're like, yeah, what did happen to it? What, these news stories that grab attention, if they don't grab attention anymore, they move on to the next thing. And I'm like, well, what was so important? Why are we at each other's throats as Americans? Aren't we all Americans? I remember when 9/11 happened, we forgot everything for like a week. And we were all united for like a week. What happened to that? Why can't we all just be united? And even if I talk to people who are like, "Oh, I'm a free thinker," you're a free thinker, but then you'll throw something in there that's one side or the other. You're not a free thinker. You just want to use that title. Free thinkers are free thinkers. Free thinkers don't say, "Yeah, I'm a free thinker, but Biden," or "I'm a free thinker, but Trump." You're not a free thinker. You know what I mean?
They fall to the same regurgitated talking points that they're taught, pretty much nearly indoctrinated to just spew out each time.
Yeah.
I respect the more thorough, thought out, like personal conviction that leads you to have opinions, but not the same tried and true blah, blah, blah that you hear. It's just that automatically earns me tuning out.
Yeah. I'm so tired of it. And my thing is like, I try to take each individual as that person before I even know. I don't need to know like your party and all that stuff. I just want to talk to you. And once I talk to you and understand who you are, if I find out something later on, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Whatever. Like people, are you are you for guns? Yeah, sure. Then you're pro 2A and you're killing everybody. I never said that. You just asked me if I like guns.
This is what the term I've used or I've learned to use from somebody that hates the crap out of me, but I liked the idea, is that they seem to, if you agree with somebody on one thing, they automatically assume you co-sign to their entire ideal or their narrative. You can believe or you can like one thing about somebody and not like any of the other things. That is possible. So, like, if I said, yeah, I like this thing Trump did, that doesn't make me a pure Trumper. I don't know that there's anything I know that Biden's done to say I like that thing Biden did, but that doesn't make me a pro-Biden guy either. Just acknowledge good when there's good and bad when it's bad.
Yeah, there's a guy I don't always agree with, but he says a lot of things I do. He's a Jewish guy, and he talks really weird. His voice is really high pitched, and he talks really fast, and he's always getting on people, especially in the trans community. What's his name?
Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is one of those people where I'm like, that dude, I laugh when he gets on people because he's so straightforward and rigid, but he's just like, he says things that are logical and people are looking, they're like, well, he's like, he breaks them down with logic. And I'm like, I don't agree with everything he says, but He says some things that I'm just like, yo, he is destroying you right now.
He is an intellectual like powerhouse.
He is.
And I've really yet to see him get got. I've seen him in a. Do you remember Keon? Rest in peace, Keon. Do you remember he would always try to share this guy Vosh, who is apparently a YouTuber that's very, very liberal, like communistic or almost, but I don't know. I don't know why I cannot seem to find a lot of liberal or lefty voices that I can really get on board with. I don't know why that is. Yeah, I find myself watching Crowder, Shapiro, Peterson. That is something I'm trying to understand for myself.
Yeah, I used to like Crowder, but he started going in a direction. I was like, okay, yeah, you're getting past that logic and you're getting into the sides of like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see what side you're for. So he said, I used to love some of the stuff he said, but once you start getting to a point where I feel like you're not really, I can't really relate to you on that too much. I'll listen to some things, but again, I can't like follow you. You know what I mean? Every now and then I'll bring them up, but I can't follow you for things, which I don't really follow many people. I like points here and there anyway.
I like the specific, you're making the statement that there is a difference between listening and following.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Oh, and Sweet Peas, I do still like Tulsi Gabbard. Like, she's pretty much excommunicado from the DNC. I don't think you can even vote for her, but she's someone that has, to me, retained integrity. And I see the little hit pieces like like trolls do, where some event said, "Hey, we want to reward you with a recognition of something," and then she learned what that place really was, and it's something nasty. And then only then she disavowed it, but people don't care because the damage was done, and they have the ammo for their arsenal.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And I mean, again, going back to this the division, people don't want to believe anything. It's even like when I got into conversations and, the hot topic, which everybody forgot about, Kyle Rittenhouse, right? There was a time where it was when Kyle Rittenhouse was the hot topic and people look at me, they're like, what'd you think about Kyle Rittenhouse? And I was like, he's defending himself. What? You sound like one of them. I'm like, no, I didn't say I like the kid. I'm saying in the situation that was given with the evidence that was proven that the boy was defending himself. No, he's a murderer. I'm like, dude, who told you that? Like, did you watch the same video? Again, we're divided. Why does it have to be all or nothing? Like, why can't we all sit down and have a conversation and look at things and say, hey, okay, this is what I'm pulling from it. This is what I'm pulling from it. Okay, we come to the conclusion that this is what it is. Even if it's against your side, it's like, no, it's just, what is it with the evidence?
Because this day and age, people have been taught to have their mind made up before any of the actual facts are out, because it's playing right into division. Is your brother's name, is that Michael or Michelle? There's somebody with your last name here, and I don't know if it's just
my last name.
Yeah, here. Do you see that comment right there? Just sitting here, all supporting and shit. That's the comment. It's on here.
I don't know what that means.
No, okay, yeah. Now I thought it would have been a real kick if it was somebody in your family or something. But well, anyway, we hit our hour.
Oh, okay.
I mean, honestly though, dude, it is so damn easy and refreshing to talk to you. Can we like make this a thing? Can we talk in the future about collaborating and picking topics or something? Because, dude, you are awesome. I've known this. You're pretty. I mean, you have to because you're awesome, and that's all there is to it. But yeah, man, like don't be a stranger to this platform. And please, if ever you needed a motivation, I will do everything within my power to help get your channel some traction. If you are interested in joining the podcasting family, we have all learned the mainstream. I think it's on its way out. All right. The final generations that have learned to trust it, they are going to be gone at some point. And this is where it's really going. You know, people like CanCon and people that have taken reporting onto themselves and vetting and verifying. We don't trust the status quo. So, man, in any shape or form or capacity that you want to be involved in on this side of YouTube, please, let me be the first to know, unless you work something out with your brother.
I mean, like I said, I like to help. I like to help people. That's just I don't need the shine. I don't need the accolades. I literally like my brother. I just want to help. Like for you, you saw the stuff. I just want to help. I like helping people. I like to see people happy, and you know, ultimately, it brings me joy to see other people happy. So, I usually like to just help out. So I mean, I appreciate it. That makes me feel really good. That you said even people think that'd be nice, but I'm like, people will probably get tired of me talking about trying to be nice and being helpful.
Dude, well, all right. Here's another cheesy. I've come up with a lot of cheesy metaphors and analogies since I've done this whole thing, but just like a mind can't have just a single thought, this channel is never about one single thing. I will easily start a show with one topic and go on some crazy manic diatribe about 5 to 10 topics, but I don't know, man. My intention is unity.
Yeah.
We vibe on that. So just know you're always welcome here. And the moment you make a channel, you tell me, sir. Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably run into you before that. I'm trying to plan a trip to come to your part of the world. So
please make that happen. I got such sights to show you, man. I promise. And none of them involve my friends in any hoods. I'm sorry, that was stupid. I just had a.
Mine do.
I'm canceled. Officially, I'm canceled again.
Do you like fishing?
Do I like? I haven't successfully fished since I was 5 with my grandpa. So you might have to actually teach me.
Okay. So that's because I think that'd be a way to have good conversation and activity at the same time.
Perhaps that would be easier than my favorite hobby, which is pew-pewing in the range. But you can't really yeah, man. Dude, that's how I spend my weekends.
If you're down, I don't know if I can cross state lines, but if you're down, well, they can rent stuff down there.
Oh, yes. I got a friend that'll lend you his AK. Yeah. I meant AK as the letters of the alphabet, and it stands for Alka-Seltzer.
All knowing.
Yeah. All knowing. It's an acronym for all knowing. So yeah, man, you could.
I love the range. I do love going to the range, but just for conversation purposes. So what do you think? Pow, 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 pow.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. Pow, pow. So I mean, whatever. We can just chill. We can go to the casino. But I thought fishing would be something relaxing.
I dig it. And I need to find more relaxing hobbies because YouTube is starting to make me feel older. And I think I'm going to start like delegating days off, like multiple days off, because I've honestly been almost every single day, almost every morning with this channel since Ryan Upchurch shared it, thus giving me thank you, Creeksquad. Thank you, Ryan Upchurch. Thank you, Patty Lynn. Thank you to every individual that has been of Creeksquad that has continued to embrace me. And I'm glad to see the response and the conversation that we had. I'm truly at a loss because I built up something that was far worse in my mind.
Yeah, I think you overthought that one. But you're definitely protecting yourself because you know the world we're in nowadays. So I think you're definitely you're trying to get ahead of it and protect yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't want anything, especially if I am responsible for it or I said it, to be used against me that could hurt this community that I really believe in. It's turned into more than a passion project. It is my passion. It's the blood that flows in my veins, and it keeps my heart beating. This did replace a void, and it saved my life during a time where I think I was falling back into a depression. So this is a big deal to me, and
Wow.
that's why I care about it so much.
Well, yeah,
So
man. That definitely. Then obviously you're doing it already, but fight for the things you care for. So
I'm never going to stop, man, no matter what. And every attempt to make me regret doing this just serves as more fuel to the fire. So,
I
Drew,
hear that.
officially, thank you so much. Please do not be a stranger, especially if you get down here. You contact me immediately, like the moment your feet hit the ground.
I'll let you know beforehand.
Okay, that's even better. And again, just thank you so damn much. I usually do a little shout out to everybody. Love, laughter, fun. I got to see one of your shows because somebody sent me a link and told me a bunch of the trolls were congregating there. So that was interesting. Jamie, Miranda, I don't think I've seen you here. So welcome. Queen Survivor, Jessica, Shane, Shade, Kim Watts. Thank you guys. So much love. Remember, let that which oh God, don't forget your progressive patriot moniker. Identify the unifiers and do not let a divider be a reason for confrontation. Let it be an invitation to conversation. And justice for just us, because the system, they don't give a F about us. With that, thank you to my co-host of the night. Let's make this a thing. I see great things in your future. And now I'm going to do a little tradition. Oh, you're still here. A tradition. Okay. Now I do a little, it's very lame. Okay. Any last words?
Love everybody.
Was it love everybody?
Love everybody.
All right. I dig that. Now, this is Sparta. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around and being here. I think I truly realize that like most people, we internalize and we make a mountain out of almost a nothing burger, but it was so important to me, and I was worried about damages. I was worried about people being hurt in this community, and I just yeah. So well done on the people that did what they're going to keep doing, but thank you all, most of all, highest of all, for remaining a part of this community and keeping me going. And I will do better. I promise. I will do better, and I will not put myself in a position that will embarrass me like that again, because I represent a part of this community. So I can't any longer think just for myself. I have to think about all of us and the ambitions that we have. So thank you so much, guys. You are truly my blood, sweat, and tears, and y'all saved me today. Since last night to the first moment I woke up and saw some of the messages and emails, thank you for the support, never ending. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Birthday chat supervisor Justin Roran, Mr. President, sir. I saw that you may have wanted to reach out. Please feel free, email me or get in the Discord. You are a part of this family, and we take that very seriously. That goes for all of you here as well. Brennan, Miss Chronic. Who did I miss? I saw somebody. The Queen, Sherry Lynn. We love you too. All right, guys. This is not going to be one of my 40-minute goodbyes where I start hardly whispering or treating the mic like a piece of corn. This is when I expect everybody to start dropping out like flies. All right. That's it. Good night. I'm not coming back on, I promise. Oh, hold on. I have to end the broadcast. I was about to